Thank you, Mrs. مريم العمارتي for this presentation. I can already say that I can't judge for now, but I can say that congratulations for your English. It's very fluent, and that's a great thing already. Actually, I forgot just to do something which is extremely important. I forgot to introduce the advisors, actually. I don't think I have introduced them. So we have Professor Samir Siyah, advisor. He's from the Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy, Mohammed V University, and also Professor Atim Ibrahim, also from the Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy of Rabat, Mohammed V University. And now I will give the floor, I think, to the first reporter, who is Professor Rashid Al-Jawdi, who is with us online, I guess, right?
Check if he's online. Can you take out your presentation? If he's not, we can go through to Professor Isbel. Yes. But normally he should be on.
So, Professor Jawdi, can you hear me?
With contacts again, so we can start with the professors Babu and after.
Okay. So then we will give the floor to Professor Sbabu. So Professor Leila Sbabu from the Faculty of Science, Mohammed V University of Rabat. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me first to express my happiness and joy to be part of this committee, and it's a great honor, first of all, to take part of this nice work, and to see Mariam finally defending her PhD, and to see how fluent she was picking up with about her results, and then we can see that you've been working so hard. And then we can see it also through your manuscript, which is, I really appreciate it to reading it. And it was in a short time. I'd like to compliment you for your thesis. This thesis that as I reported previously, was nicely written on such an important theme. The benefits of genome sequencing and analysis of this genome of two types of infectious agents, one a bacterial one and viral one. The usefulness of such approach today is for the surveillance of outbreaks. It's very important. And I would like to thank you and thank your advisors for supervisors for the choice of the team. And then also to say that you did such all this work like about the SARS-CoV-2 during the last year while several people were staying at home. So it's something very important to underline. I reported also that the manuscript was written fully in English, which is a very good thing. I think all our PhD students should do the same thing. And I don't know why we still writing our papers in English and I'm still writing our manuscript in French. I like the way you structured your manuscript. So the first chapter you covered the background theory, where you put out in all the most information about the tuberculosis and the Mycobacterium tuberculosis and the SARS-CoV-2. You have read several publications, and that were recent ones also, which is a good thing for this manuscript, because it's the first, I guess, as I think that it's the first thesis about the SARS-CoV-2 in Morocco, at least. So it's going to be a reference for other works. Regarding the first part of your work, I have two questions. I have the first one, which is a methodological one. you choose, as you said, 9 strains, right? So that you start with 11 from
Yes.
in the presentation, and you end up with 9 of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and then that you have sequenced. So, do you think that the random choice of your strains does not limit the range of strain possible variation, and which can keep the interpretation on mutation incomplete?
Yeah, I totally agree. We have a really small size to take any interpretation or to any conclusion. So but we can have an insight of what's the structure of the mycobacterium in Morocco is like. So out of 9, we have already half which are MDR and half which is susceptible. So we can have an idea. And also we can, it was not, I mean, it's very unlikely that it's by chance that half of them belonging to the harem and all susceptible, and the other half belonging to the other sublineage are all MDR resistance. So maybe there's some truth that the sizing is small, but I think there is something that we should go further on it by increasing the sample size.
Okay, especially because you are comparing to, first of all, you choose 78 sequences that you uploaded from
Yes.
the ACBI, and then in the evolution table 3, you're talking about like 60 something, I can't remember, 65, right? So the first question is what basis, on what basis you selected those sequences, the 78, and then why by the end you are talking about 78, and then you are analyzing only 68,
So
65.
when I retrieved them, I was based on, I should have many sequences from different lineages. So in order, when I do the phylogenetic tree, I will know in which cluster my strains will belong. The first thing. The second thing is, I decreased the number because of the quality of the sequence. So I did like, it's like not streaming, but a filtering of the sequence based on the quality of the sequences. That's why I had decreased the number of the sequence in the phylogenetic analysis.
Okay, and in the tree, the cluster that you choose, in which page? Page 28. How did you select? Maybe I didn't get it, but your cluster for the tree.
Yeah.
How did you pick this cluster? Because I don't see that there is a separate cluster.
No, because I know the link. That's why when I chose the sequence, I know only to which lineage they belong.
Okay, so you did the phylogenetic tree only.
Knowing which strain belongs to which lineage.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so page 31, I have in the second paragraph, the second paragraph 31, second paragraph. Somewhere you're talking about something that I would like you to just to explain more. Maybe I didn't. I wasn't following your explanation. So you're talking about the mutation, the end of distribution was independent and the resistant. You see the sentence? Like the second paragraph here. It's the same version. Okay. The resistant profile on a nice strain, many enzymes associated with virulence mechanism were found in both groups. Suggestion. No, it's not the same version? Okay.
Oh yes, because we did some.
Okay, so you changed this part.
Yes. Changed the paragraph.
Which means maybe that I was right. Good. Okay, so for the second part of your work, I really I have comments and I have like positive things to say. It's not really the comments are not really negative, but not just to make the manuscript better. Few things like sometimes you have incomplete sentences.
Okay.
You not finish the information, just a dot and then without ending what you want to say. You have a shift in the numbering, but I guess that you corrected that in the new version. Unnecessary interpretation, like page 40, like the figure 3.1.
40?
Yes, 40. the figure 3.1.
Yes?
Yes. Like this, you have the title, and then you add, we are currently sequencing more genomes.
Yes.
Like this is, no, you cannot put this in the text, because this is a title, and this is an information, so better you put it in the text
Okay.
instead of having it in the figure text. But I really like it, the way the second part was of the manuscript was presented. Because this the second part was presented in two parts, like what you call chapter 3 and chapter 4. The first one about the characterization of the genetic diversity of the Moroccan SARS-CoV-2 strains, and then the other one about the SARS-CoV-2 in worldwide, which was really something very interesting. And the publication that you put, I think that they were the unique one that brought the analysis of the SARS-CoV-2 Moroccan strains, and with the where trying to answer the famous question and very burning question within the Moroccan population, which is will the universal vaccine developed against the virus be effective against the Moroccan strains? I would like you to answer, even if you write it down through the lines, but
Okay.
because it's recorded, it would be making an answer for a lot of people. So please.
So when we did the analysis of the 300 genomes, which started from December to late June or May, we included many genomes from different countries, and this analysis showed that there is not a big diversity that will impact the universal vaccine. Even in Morocco, there is not much. It's a normal diversity for coronavirus to be to do. So virus mutates. It's
Sure.
in their nature. So it's not very. Doesn't have this impact that will be a scary impact on the vaccine. So I think, in my opinion, the vaccine will be effective on a large population of the SARS-CoV-2. Maybe there is some variants which are not, maybe will not be effective against, but I don't think they are the predominant variants. The majority of the variants that we have analyzed, the mutation are not in the spike. The mutation doesn't impact the regions which have an importance in the virus. So I think the vaccine will not have a problem with the majority of it.
I think you have the choice of your paper's title was very, something like commercial part.
We had to.
And I know where it's coming from. So when you're talking about the hamper the use of the developed universal vaccine, for your second paper, do the Moroccan SARS-CoV-2 genetic diversity hamper the use? It's like, okay, so you make people read the paper.
Exactly.
and read everything to see what you coming. I also really, and it's not, I don't say that all frequently, but I really enjoyed reading the last chapter. Why? Because I never seen this kind of written in a thesis. Because for people that not having the chance to see to read your manuscript, it's a general discussion, and I think it's a gift for the reader, for any reader, because the reader that is not really familiar with science, and we are not familiar to see PhD candidates that express themselves freely and give their point of view in the manuscript, which is something that you did. And did you read it? Did you write it down, everything alone?
Yes.
Or was it based on discussion with your advisors? Or how can you write something like political thing in your thesis? Are you, I'm ending with something, are you audacious or brave women? Because when you are criticizing scientists, where you are criticizing collaboration, and then a lot of parts is like reality, with you are telling us history, what's happened during the last year. It's
actually what happened in my 6 year of thesis. I just put it down, and I have very much trouble in collaboration that I have tried to make with multiple people. Also, when I went to, paperwork is exhausting. It was a struggle from the beginning. So I just tried to put everything that I ever lived during the 6 year inside this chapter.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think it was a really good thing, and to finish your thesis, your manuscript with this ideas, with this recommendation instead of discussion. Maybe put like a part where you say recommendation, or I don't know, something else, but like not under discussion, because you know with discussion your results, but it's something coming up from the reality, and it's something really interesting to see and to read from a PhD candidate. And congratulations, and I wish you good luck for your career and personal life. And, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Spermu, for this really rich discussion. Actually, you gave me many ideas about some questions, so I will ask later on.
That's not good.
That's not good for her, but it's good for us. So I will give the floor immediately to our friend from, I think we have Professor Jody with us. Great. So we'll give the floor to Professor Rashid Jody from the Faculty of Medicine of Pharmacy and Pharmacy of Rabat from Mohammed V University. Dear Professor Jody, you have the floor. Assalamu alaikum. We can't hear you. We cannot hear you. Can you? We cannot hear you.
لا هو البنك ديالو واش اكتيف المايك ديريكت الايبود ça marche pas. Je vais lui téléphoner.
عيط لي في الواتساب.
لا je vais téléphoner directement.
parce que pour laisser le تقدر دير حتى فيديو معاه.
هذيك لوبسيون ميكرو
حيدة.
فوالا حيدة.
حيت هذيك الميكرو
Ah bon?
D'abord.
Oui. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
I'm sorry. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and hello, dear colleague. Thank you for excusing my absence for the thesis defense. I hope that my voice is enough. Maybe my picture. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate مريم for her excellent presentation and her English. I would have liked to speak French, but it will be safer for you and for me. But my dear colleague also by me told me that English is mandatory. So I apologize for the mistakes if he has any English my mother tongue. I will be very brief because I have already given my opinion in my report. And in addition, I'm co-author of the majority of the work of the candidates, so I have no question. But I must just say that President, I'm very honored of Bibliothèque Lab and family. I found all Mr. Martin's work to be of very high scientific quality, and this quality is proven by several publications listed in my script. She also know, and we have to say that she knows how to put her initial her experience and the initial project concerning Mycobacterium tuberculosis for the benefits of the fight against COVID-19 epidemic. With all the members of Medbiotech who made considerate effort during this period. Finally, I hope this crisis will allow us to start thinking differently and why not correcting our past mistakes. In any case, I wish you all a better future than the one recently experienced, and for مريم, magnificent and wonderful professional and maybe academic career. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, dear colleague, and have a good day. And thank you, Asdin, for allowing me this the opportunity to have this speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Jody, for your comments about Mrs. مريم العمارتي work. And now we will move on directly to our friend from Faz, Professor Mohammed Al-Azami Ibrahimi, Mohammed Al-Azami Al-Idrisi, from the Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy of Faz, University Sidi Mohammed bin Abdillah. You have the floor, my friend. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to my friend and dear colleague, Professor Ibrahimi, for inviting me to be a member of the committee and this thesis, and also for choosing me as an reporter for this work. And I'm also delighted and pleased to be part of this discussion. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it to participate directly with you to this nice thesis. And my first words are to the PhD student, and in the few hours, inshallah, she will be back there. And as I say, as it was for me, she is a brave woman. Actually, she is a brave woman, and every single PhD student in this country is brave. Brave men and brave women, because the conditions, and I will say it directly, the conditions are very, very difficult for them, and either for the students or for the supervisor to do the right work and to achieve something. So when they reach this moment, this stage hour to defend their thesis in front of the committee, they deserve to be designed as brave men and brave women. So this is the between brackets. Now regarding this work, actually, I used yes, Chaîne is my friend, and we spent several times outside of the country, either in Europe or in the United States, and we know each other very well. He is a great scientist and a great person. As you are, we know each other very well. And also the other members, the one that I know
practices to stop the spread of the virus, if I understood the question.
Yes,
right?
to the Moroccan government. How would be your advice to the Moroccan government to help them stop the pandemic
In
in
the
Morocco?
current situation?
The current situation in Morocco.
Okay, so I think now the spread is under control.
You want me to say the question again?
No, I understood. So I think, yes. So I think for the current situation, there's not much of a problem because the majority, not the majority, but we have 10 million people that have been vaccinated. So, or the vulnerable people have been vaccinated. So even if the spread get to a higher rate, it's not going to be a problem. However, I'm with the people that say that we should stop this lockdown and go back to our lives. So I don't think that the coronavirus will have more impact anymore than it has already did, especially in Morocco. So this is my opinion.
What about vaccination?
Yes. What about it? In which and from which angle?
What's the role of vaccination in stopping the coronavirus?
Okay, before I think the strategy for the lockdown was a very good strategy, and also I think Morocco had taken some very good decisions since the beginning, the lockdown, and also the consortium of the sequences much more genomes to trace if there is any emergent variants. So, however, to minimize the spread, I think in many cities the lockdown was not exactly followed as it should have, and also maybe to Wall Street. I don't know. I think it has been a good decision since the beginning for Morocco. Besides that, we should more. I have an idea. It's during the consortium when we are sequencing genomes, maybe for tracking the variants that are occurring. Maybe we should sequence variants from all over Morocco and not the variants that are just in Casablanca or Rabat. So we don't have an idea about what's happening in the rest of the country. We just have a small idea of what's happening in the main countries, Casablanca and Rabat, and doesn't give us the reality of the spread or the infectivity of the virus, or if we have any emergence variants that are happening. So yeah, I hope that I answered your question.
Okay, very good. Very good. Now, in your presentation, you didn't talk about perspectives because when you do a great job and you work very hard during 6 years and you produced very nice manuscripts, very nice thesis, and also it was you published in several articles, and several papers, and so is it the end of your work, which is not, I assume it's not the case, because as Winston Churchill said, it's not the end, it's not even the beginning of the end, it's the end of the beginning. So we are just starting the career as a researcher, and starting from this point, and starting from a very, very solid basis with Professor Ibrahim and with his team, which is, you are very lucky, so I think you should have a lot of perspectives for to continue this work. Not only on the SARS-CoV-2 and the TB, but you mentioned other interesting things. So what are your perspectives in the short, the average, and the long term?
Okay. So yes, in the short term, so we have already started to, for example, the TB project have already tried to increase the sampling size, and we have some collaboration with the Moulay Hospital in order to increase the sampling size and do the work again to take a very good conclusion based on big data. However, for SARS-CoV-2, for the current situation. Maybe I would like to see the impact of COVID-19 on patients with tuberculosis and in the long term. And also I want to do, and this is the thing that I want to do since I came to the lab, is to try to apply for big grants from the outside and try to get them to Morocco, such as NIH grant, to do a bigger research at a large scale, at Morocco scale, so we can have a big idea and a great picture of the infectious diseases in Morocco. And it could be tuberculosis or any other infectious disease.
Great. Okay, once again, you did a great job.
Thank
you. Are
you.
a great woman.
Thank
And
you.
I'm really delighted and pleased to be part of the company of thesis. And there is a message to my friend, Professor Ibrahimi. As usual, I would be very pleased to collaborate with you and with the whole team. So I wish you all the best for your career and for your life.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.